Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sarah's Table. Happy Mother's Day to all of my mom friends out there. Tonight is a very safe space. If you want to bring your little ones out, we are going to be adventuring as princesses today, playing ninth level games, a polymorph system game called The Excellence. It is probably about a PG-13 sort of situation. We are sort of in the thick of things at the moment because this is the third episode of our arc, which is actually our finale, and so we have reached the big bad intense fight. But even big bad intense fights in the excellence tend to be a little bit less intense than what you might find on some other kind of streams. This is not a stabby D&D type encounter. This is a sort of Care Bears inspired kill you with the hearts that come out of my stomach sort of situation. Well, I think. I don't know what they're going to do. We'll find out. So if you are interested in checking out what we were doing, this is the third episode, so you can always go back on Level Up TTV or on ninth level socials, and you can find the first couple episodes that we have done. They are posted there. We have some really fun princesses today. Our group is very eclectic, and they formed quite the bond, and I really love to see where they have gotten to. Before we get into anything, we are going to do our safety discussion like we always do on Sarah's Table. I want to make sure that everybody feels comfortable. It is really important as a responsible game master or just player at a table to make sure that everyone around you is feeling safe and comfortable. So some of the things that you will never find on Sarah's Table are sexual violence of any kind, violence towards children, or withholding food as punishment, or starvation. It's sort of those three things. They cover a lot of discomfort areas for people, including myself, and so we just never have it here. If you are watching this, you never have to worry about those three subjects. Also, it was brought up earlier in our games and in our arc that we never wanted to stray into abandonment during pregnancy in this arc, so that has definitely been off the table. And I'm gonna just check with my players and see, is there anything else that has come up for you or that you would like to reiterate that we don't want to stray into, especially in this sort of more intense situation? We're all good. I love when my players are willing to yes and me. That's my favorite part. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to do is we're going to walk around our table briefly and have everybody introduce themselves and their pronouns and their character and their pronouns, and just give us a little bit of what's going on with who your character is. So let's start with Omari.
Hi, I'm Omari IQ, and my pronouns are he, him, they, them, and I am playing Sportsball Princess during this arc. Sportsball Princess's pronouns are she, her, and we are right now kind of just at the culmination of our search for our good friend, partner, has led us into a situation. Sportsball Princess is a little nervous about it, but I have my friend Homer to help me out. So feeling pretty good, ready to see what happens.
Could you describe, aside from being a little apprehensive, like what is Sportsball's mood exactly in like one word or phrase? Where are you at?
Ooh, currently Sportsball Princess is just embracing the connections that have been made so far. There's been a lot of intensity, and my life has been saved several times, and just being grateful for that and bringing that into what's happening.
Cool. Whitney, tell us about what's going on with you.
Hi, I'm Whitney. My pronouns are she, her, and so is my Princess Shark Week, whose best buddy is a short fin Mako named Patricia. I got to shot put her last week. And I'm not sure if sharks can roll their eyes, but if they could, Patricia's eyes are probably rolling into the back of her head because Shark Week has heart eyes right now because she's in love with Volcano.
I love that you have become an emoji with how much you're loving the big villain. That's my favorite thing. Yeah, I think that pretty much summed up the question I was going to ask, which is how are you feeling? And it's clearly smitten, so perfect. Fall, what about you? Who are you today?
Hi, I'm Full. Pronouns are whatever. And I'm playing Explosive Princess, pronouns being she, they. And right now, Explosive Princess is facing off against possibly her longest ancestor. Basically, just wondering if fire fighting fire, it really will, be appropriate in this situation, or if it's just going to make things a hell of a lot worse. But we'll see.
And is there anything else that she's feeling?
I think there's a lot of awe, and she's like, because like I said, like volcanoes really were like the first natural explosive element, and like there's definitely a bunch of awe in that, and like excitement, but also considering the fact that this volcano has stolen my friend's partner, there is a bit of a okay, like you're cool and all, but I'm not afraid to smack ya.
Great. I love that so far we've had 3 very different approaches of feelings at the volcano. Like you're all on super different sides, and I love that. Adriel, what do you got going on?
I'm Adriel. My pronouns are they, them, and I am playing Trash Animal Princess, whose pronouns are also they, them. Trash Animal Princess's best beast friend is a raccoon named Litter, and both Trash Animal Princess and Litter are ready to bring the world to its knees to get my girlfriend back.
Yeah. Is there anything that we missed in the last episode that we can bring people up to speed with? We talked a lot about the volcano. We talked a lot about how the volcano took Willow. I don't think we said her name yet, but Willow, the dryad, who is Trash Animal Princess's partner. What else stood out from last episode aside from shot putting a shark, which was important? But I do what else do you all remember about last episode?
We helped that guy who was covered in mushrooms.
Fun guy.
Whose name I can't remember right now.
Fun guy. Adarius was his name.
That's
right.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was doing what he was doing. He was taking dryads, especially Willow, because the volcano had also taken his partner.
Yes, that's correct.
So you all had a moment where you were like, I'm going to beat this guy up. And he was like, but he's got my boyfriend. And you went, ooh, dang it. I feel you. What do I do with that?
We have to help you.
Yeah. And so, and you still have Willow's spirit in the little
in my pocket.
Your gelatin ball. But by the way, I did do a treat of the week, and I didn't post it because it was really fun and I ate it too fast. There's stuff, Jello makes stuff that is called edible slime, that you can play with the edible slime. And I got monster slime because I was like, this is the perfect thing. And it mixes up and it's like instant Jello, but it's like stretchier that you can play with. And it was green, and you should all have some because it made me feel like a little kid and it was super fun. Plus it was really satisfying to be like, this looks just like the goo that you all overcame, and I ate it, and now it's gone. And it tastes like limes, and I hope that I don't think that the stuff you encountered in the game would have tasted like lime jello, but maybe none of you tasted it. I don't know. Could have been delicious. You'll never know now because there's a giant volcano who wants to eat you. Yeah. So that's where we're at. When we last left our heroes, the giant volcano woman creature had slammed her hand down between the huge snow globe that held Willow's tree and Trash Animal Princess, and loomed over them and leaned in and said, you have something I want. And that is where we had left off. So what do we want to do?
So last I remember, we were on like a plateau kind of deal where we saw, I think we might have seen Willow on the other side of it, like Willow's tree, like form.
Correct.
On the other side, and then we got intercepted by, I think I would probably step in front of my friends, even though I'm a lot shorter than them, and just be like, don't you hurt them.
The big lava monster turns her head and looks you right in the face. And her features sort of shift. They kind of look like she looks like everybody that you have encountered on your journey, but in brief flashes. And so as you're watching, her features shift around so that she looks like all of the princesses in your party. She looks like Willow. She looks like the Adarius in both of his forms. She looks like all the other dryads that you've seen, but it's like a constant shift and morph situation. So even for a moment, she looks like you, and you look like you're looking into a huge mirror, but then it shifts away to someone else. So like her body stays the same form, but her face is constantly shifting.
What do you want?
And she sort of hisses a little bit. Sounds like steam venting from something, sort of like that sort of explosive, almost like you would hear in a steam engine train, kind of releasing that pressure. And she leans in, and her face becomes yours for a little bit longer. And she says, I'm looking for myself. And then she shifts back to Trash Animal Princess. It's very warm. She's very hot the closer she gets to you. You're all sweating.
What do you mean you're looking for yourself?
She starts reaching toward the little bulge where it has Willow's soul in it, and she's reaching toward it because the soul is sort of pulling because you're closer and closer to the tree.
I put him up. I will punch you.
Interesting choice. Punch the wall of lava. Okay, if you would like to do a sword roll, you may do a sword roll.
I would. I just don't know where I put my die. I got it.
Oh, excellent.
5.
That is a success.
Yeah, it is. I lost my character sheet, much like in the world of we're sitting at a table.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. I think you know Trash Animal Princess a little bit, and having written the game, you know how it works.
Be okay.
I trust that you know what's going on. So you rolled a 5, which is a success. The success in this way just means that you do not lose the use of your hands, because you have you definitely punched into like magma. It hurt, but it didn't incapacitate you at all, but it also didn't seem to do a ton of no damage happened to her, but she was surprised that you would, like, people don't generally willingly reach into lava. So she was like, oh, I sort of pulled back in surprise. So she is a little bit further away.
Okay.
And I'm also just going to step out in front and take out my racket bag and be like, and there's more where that came from.
I really love how you are all willing to defend each other so much that there's like this assembly line of I'm stepping in front of everyone now. Now I'm stepping in front of everyone. And just you keep sort of stacking, getting closer. She at this point just kind of cocks her head and is more confused at your little group. She doesn't feel threatened, but she's like, what is all of this? What is this?
You
When
stole
you-
my girlfriend. Sorry.
No. No. You. This is your girlfriend. Like you should. Yeah, you're allowed to be mad. But just really quickly, when you say that you're trying to find yourself, do you mean that you're taking other people because you don't know who you are meant to be?
She kind of, you see her eyes squint a little bit, like in concentration, and she kind of shifts around, and her face rapidly goes through a lot of different faces, more faces than you encountered on your journey, like hundreds of faces just rolling through. And the face that it lands on is sort of featureless. It has sort of like if you were roughly making a face out of clay as like your first step, that's what is there. You can see that I see the bump where there's probably going to be a nose, and there's kind of like little eye indentations, and there's a little bit of what the bumps of that would be a part of your mouth, but there's kind of nothing else there. And she says, I've just been looking for so long.
Why did you lose yourself?
She doesn't quite know how to answer that. But she picks up the snow globe and she shakes it. And then she puts it back down. And so there's sort of like leaves and looks like there's snow in there, sort of swirling around. And you see Willow's tree and a second tree inside it.
I'm gonna turn to the rest of the group. Probably very dangerously turning my back to the massive lava monster. Guys, I think in a really warped way that this lava being is stealing people's souls to like have some kind of soul herself. I think she might have lost hers. I'm not sure how to go about this because my plan was to blow things up, but now I think I'd feel a little bad. I'm not sure.
Is Adriel still with us?
Yes. He is hiding as best he can behind all of you brave folk who keep stepping in front of everyone. He's like, I'll just stay back here behind whoever, just kind of shifting.
Do you know what she's talking about? Do you know what she's looking for, Adarius?
I don't know. Whenever she doesn't talk much. This is the most I've heard her talk in ever. She seems to be more of a sort of action-oriented kind of thing. But every time she would take a dryad soul, she ended up giving it back because she kept saying it wasn't right.
Is Willow's right? Is that why she's keeping it for so long?
Well, she doesn't have the soul
Oh, that's right. We got this.
currently.
It's in my pocket.
Just has the tree.
I don't know, man. When I was growing up, I read this really like wise bard's books. His name is Dr. Seuss, and like he was basically just saying like, you know, you can't really be anyone else because you have to be yourself because everyone else is taken. So I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of applicable here.
You were saying that to
The
your
group.
group? The group.
I think you're right. But how do we get this volcano to leave Willow alone?
I mean, is there any risk that Willow is this volcano? No.
That seems very unlikely to me.
Darius, is there any risk to the Dryad soul if the volcano realizes that it's not hers?
I don't know. She's given them back, I think, but I don't see where they go after she's like tried them.
Okay.
How did
well,
she get your partner?
I don't know.
Are you talking to Adarius or the
Darius,
trash
sorry, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Willow, yeah. We know how Willow got nabbed because it was nabbed by Adarius, but I don't know how Adarius's partner got nabbed if Adarius is the one doing the nabbing.
Well, my partner liked to sort of go on adventures. He liked to go hiking, and he always wanted to push to see how far he could get. He's very spirited, and so he went up this volcano. He wanted to hike to the top of it, and I didn't want to go because it's scary up there. And so I told him I would meet him when he came back, and he ended up being gone for a couple days. And when I came to look for him, I found his tree, and then she was here.
I wonder why specifically Dryad souls. That seems very specific.
I'm also wondering why she has them in a snow globe, because like when I think of snow, I don't think of magma and lava and earth.
Well,
Why does she keep them there? What happens if we broke the snow globe and we could get Willow back in her body, maybe?
that would be nice.
I mean, Darius isn't gonna take her soul again, so at least we get the hostages out of the way, and then we can be on more level ground. I mean, we're very high up, but you know, like metaphorical level ground.
That's true. Should we try it?
Okay.
Sure.
Do we
Yeah.
want to? Yeah. Has she been hearing this entire conversation?
I mean, she's very big, and she is not far away because you are standing basically on her. But
Yeah.
you don't know how much she's been getting from it because she hasn't really interacted with you while you've been talking.
Okay. Well, do we need to maybe do a distraction?
I'll distract her.
Let's
Are you
do
going to
it.
distract her with love?
I'm going to distract her with a Princess Shark Week song about how super hot days aren't always so bad because a melted snow cone tastes good too.
Oh,
That's so
love
cute.
that. I believe this is a heart roll.
My
Very
first
literally.
roll.
Well, what was the thing that you had gotten? Oh, it was shoes you have advantage on.
Yeah, shoes. Not.
I mean, if you do a interpretive dance of what you're trying to distract her with, maybe you could roll a shoes.
That's true. How like physical is this song that you are doing?
Patricia and I are probably like doing like wiggle motions, because usually when Shark Week is doing solo musical numbers, she's underwater. So
Oh, sure.
yeah.
All right. I don't think I can do it. That's not quite enough.
Yep, that it's fine.
I believe in you. Let's see what happens.
One or a 4. I rolled a 1. Woo! Patricia.
So this is a success because Patricia knows what's up. So you step off to the side, making sure that you are, across from where the snow globe is. You clear your throat real big, and she ignores you for a moment. Still nothing. Nothing's happening. And Patricia, because she's a feisty little shark, she sort of jumps up and like thwacks her with her tail on the way back down. Just kind of like smack, sort of right in the forehead. And this lava creature sort of shifts and flows to where she has one hand on either side of you, and her face is getting very close. It's very warm, and you burst into song about how it's okay for it to be hot, and she is intrigued, so she continues to watch. And what would the rest of you like to do while she is distracted by Shark Week?
Sneaking would be like shoes, wouldn't it?
It would be shoes, correct.
Okay. I don't know. Like, does the glass look really thick? Does it look like it would take quite a bit to get through it?
Yeah, so glass is just like heated rock and sand, right? Where they like heat it so much that it liquefies. She can get it very, very hot, as you might imagine. So it's pretty thick. Like when you look through it, and it's not really smooth. It's not like blown glass. It's like very crudely, like she made it by smushing it with her hands.
Okay.
Sounds very hard to break.
It does.
It's-
I mean, I can. Well, I don't really want to put off any of my explosions because that will probably get her attention.
I just like have 2 golf balls drop out of my shorts legs and like land on the ground, and I just kind of look toward everybody and just point down at them. Should I try to break it with one of these?
Yeah, you can try that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I basically take up my racket bat
Mm-hmm.
and sort of in a golf stance, just like staring down at where the snow globe is.
How close have you gotten to it?
So I'm near where Adriel is. So I guess
Okay.
like halfway, or where Trash Princess is. Yeah, and I'm trying to determine if there's any weak spots before I actually swing.
Okay, so this feels like a double check, right? So the first check
Yeah.
will be a book roll to see if you can determine the best place to hit it. And then the
Okay.
second one would be a sword roll, since you're doing the
Okay.
actual attacking.
Go for book roll first.
Okay,
I got a 2.
that is a success.
Yes.
You sort of scan it, and you're used to, as Sportsball Princess, you're used to trying to hit targets. You know where you're supposed to be going, and you see sort of a part of the glass that's kind of rippled, and it looks like maybe it's where her fingers were pulling back, and it's like thinner there. So you line yourself up to aim to hit that with your golf ball. And then give me a sword roll and see what happens. I'm going to give you advantage on your sword roll because you identified that weakness.
Sweet. 4 and a 7.
Super duper success. Both were successful. So you pull back and you hit with laser focus, perfect accuracy. It arcs slowly, slow motion. Camera pulls back. We track. We see this golf ball going slowly in an arc across, and it sort of like tink off of the snow globe. And for a moment, nothing happens, and you're all sort of holding your breath, waiting, and then the tiniest little crack forms, and it sort of spreads out in like a ripple effect, and it breaks in half, and both sides sort of swing open. So Willow's tree is now exposed because both sides of the globe have sort of fallen to the side.
I want to run over there and open the glass, the thing I have in my pocket, the ball I have in my pocket.
Yeah. So I don't think it's very difficult to do that at this point because now that her tree is exposed, Willow's soul is pushing as hard as she can against that globe. To the point where you kind of just need to take it out of your pocket and it bursts open and she flows back into her tree. And she is pretty weakened. She's been out of her tree for quite some time, but she takes her humanoid form and sort of sits down. And the lava monster notices that very much. So she turns back around and sort of rears up. So you tricked me? Her arms are sort of braced against the side of the mountain.
No. We're trying to help you.
And she's sort of pulling herself up more, so more of her body is coming out of the out of the mountain. She's about waist out now. Prior to this, she was sort of like from here up, and she's like pulling herself up out.
We're trying to save you.
She leans down very close to you and sort of roars.
Look, you're lost, and we'll help you.
She leans back and sort of grips into the side of the mountain and says, "How?"
And I'm gesturing to the rest of the group to kind of.
We want to help you, but you took my girlfriend, and I'm just getting her back together.
Oh, yeah, okay, but then also, getting you back. We're gonna try and help you find yourself, because you can't find yourself by taking other people. You'll never find yourself that way.
And she sinks a little bit back down further into the mountain. You feel like maybe you're getting through to her a little bit. She could sort of... She's still out further than she had been when she first came out, but she's not as far.
Why do you keep taking dryad souls? Like, why specifically?
They feel like who I was.
Oh.
Trash Panda, is it possible that a dryad could turn into a volcano?
I think what she means is that she's burnt up a lot of things, and so they feel familiar to her, and maybe she didn't start out, but I kind of feel like if you're a volcano, you're a volcano. Like maybe she used to be a mountain with trees on her. I'm not sure.
What
Oh,
what is a dryad specifically though? Is it just trees, or are there other nature type dryads?
It can be anything, I think.
So, busting in with a little bit of lore here, not as the volcano, but just as myself. There are other nature creatures that are related to dryads, but they all have different names. So, like a naiad is a water creature, and the dryad is the tree creature. There's sort of like there's other ones that are all kind of in the same family, but not specific. Like a dryad can only be a tree. But
Okay.
there are other creatures that could be other parts of nature.
Trash Panda, think really, really hard. Is it possible that there's any kind of like mountain or earth, like just like not a specific tree one?
That seems like it could be. I'm gonna make a book roll so I can really know, if that's okay with you, Sarah.
Absolutely.
All right, and I have I got a 1 and an 8. So a crown and a litter.
Yeah. Wow. That's a super duper success, but sort of outside the realm of regular successes, which is very interesting. Yeah, so you remember reading one time that everything in nature in Awesome World specifically has some sort of spirit or soul. Mountains do absolutely have a spirit. It's not a dryad, but like in German it's called a master hammerling, which is literally like hammering man, because they believed that mountains were like big strong dudes, basically.
Fair enough.
So like, yeah, I don't know that there's a name for them, but the mountains definitely had a spirit.
Maybe, you know what? The first thing that I should have done was immediately gone and hugged Willow, which I'm gonna do right now.
Good.
And I'm checking in with her about her own self, and also asking her, does she know what's going on with this lava person?
So Willow is incredibly empathetic. It's one of the things that you loved about her from the start. Being a tree, she has seen a lot of things. She's very steady and very grounded. And she's always been a really calming force for you, which maybe is one of the reasons why this sort of lost soul was gravitating towards dryads. Trees are patient and safe, just in general. She's very tired. She is gratefully accepts your affection. She hugs you back fiercely. She still feels really strong to you, so you don't have to worry at all about like her not making it. She still feels like Willow. She says, I just think that she doesn't know who she is. She keeps looking, and every time one comes through that doesn't fit, she just gets more angry and upset. Sort of more bubbly, like the mountain is moving more now, the more she's gone through. She sits down. She's gonna take a little rest.
Is the partner okay?
Adarius is back. He had a soul, and there was one sort of near the globe, outside the globe. When you opened it, it came out and went back into his partner. Also, partner looks a little more rough than Willow does. Get the idea that he was maybe in there for a little bit longer. But the tree was definitely sustained. There was no like there's nature inside that globe. It was like its own little ecosystem. It's like those biomes, the closed biome that you can get. So like the trees were nourished, they were comfortable, they just didn't have their souls. That takes a lot out of you. So I'm gonna take them a bit to maybe sort of
acclimatize.
Yeah, and no, they weren't. The longer you're separated from your soul, the less you know who you are. So Willow was only gone maybe a full day, but you get the idea that maybe this other tree had been separated for longer, maybe up to a week. It's a little sluggish, but there's glimmers of recognition.
I think Shark Week, kind of inspired by our Shark Rave conversation from earlier, is wondering, like, this is a really big volcano that's obviously grown while she's been searching for what's missing. And I have a feeling it's kind of like when you have something in your house and you're like, well, it's obviously, I didn't take it outside, so it's obviously here. I just don't know where it is. And so I think like maybe what she's looking for might be like inside the mountain, inside the lava somewhere. So Shark Week wants to try and dive in and swim around and see if she can find something.
Okay. All right. So, which skill would you like to use for that?
I think that I feel like it's kind of like snorkeling, so I almost want to say it's a shoes roll.
Okay.
Lava snorkeling,
yeah,
totally normal
you're
thing.
Relying on your prowess and comfort in the water for this. So yeah, it's a very physical action. It's real hot, so we'll see what happens. You do have advantage on your shoes rolls from the dryads, so.
She puts her snorkel mask down.
Yep.
I rolled a 2 and a 3, so one. Okay,
a 3 is a success.
Yes.
You sort of, without thinking, just dive in. You are comfortable in liquids, and this looks like a liquid. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go help. You dive in, and at first it's incredibly warm. It's too hot for you. But then the bracer that you got from the dryad sort of pulses, and there are some woods that are incredibly resistant to fire. So you are able to sort of call on the strength of the dryads that you helped earlier to keep you in. Now, this is not necessarily a thing that you can stay in for a super long time, but you are protected at the moment. And you start just swimming around looking for stuff. And there is something that you see. There's something small sort of stuck in the side in like a little crevice in the mountain inside.
I don't think Shark Week probably thinks she doesn't really have the upper body strength to dislodge it. So she'll probably resurface and think this is a hashtag total team problem.
Yeah. Total team problem.
Total team problem.
Absolutely. All right.
What's the problem? Did you find anything?
Yeah, there's like something like stuck like on the inside of the volcano wall.
Are you saying that you need something to possibly dislodge it?
I'm reckoning so.
Okay. I'm gonna put my hands into my very deep pockets, and I'm going to pull out what looks like a very cartoonish kind of stick of dynamite with a little pad on it. But it's like not like a digital one. It's like you have to, like, it's a pad, but it's actually got a clock, like a dial on it, and you have to, like, almost like a stovetop, like you have to turn it to, like, the time of how long you want it to before you want it to explode.
So just before I see Explosive Princess prepping that, and I scream up at the volcano, and I say, "We think we can help you, but it's a total team problem, and you're gonna have to be on our team and trust us to try to help you out. So we're gonna do something in your lava."
Give me a heart roll, friend.
Okay. Come on, heart roll. I got a 4, but I also have a lesson token.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna burn it.
Okay. And what is the lesson that we've learned?
The lesson that we've learned is that it's much better to form a good team, and you can succeed so much easier, and sometimes that includes your enemies.
As you are yelling this up at her, she reaches her hand down and picks you up, but she doesn't hurt you. She has a crust that forms on her palm so that you can stand or sit on it. And she brings you up to her face. And you really feel like she's listening to you. So she doesn't say anything, but she nods hesitantly, and then she places you gently back on the plateau.
Explosive Princess, I hope this works.
Me too.
Please trust us. We're gonna blow you up.
But it's for your own good.
Got it.
All right.
She sees that you guys are doing something, and she does scoot over a little bit for you.
I'm gonna hand Shockweek Princess the stick of dynamite. And yeah. So you just need to turn the dial. Make sure that you turn it so that there's enough time for you to get out of the way. Is how deep, like from where we're at the like edge to like where the lava is, how deep is that? Like, could Shockweek Princess possibly pull herself out, or do we need to help her out?
I think, well, I mean, the lava comes all the way up to the plateau.
Oh, okay, easy.
So yeah, she'd be able to get herself out. I'm sure she wouldn't mind help, but
yeah,
she
more
can't
like,
get herself out of it on her.
Or can we just pull her out? Yeah, easy. Okay,
no.
Cool.
Yeah, the lava at this point is, because it's a creature, is sort of out of the mountain. Fair. So there's definitely flow.
Mm-hmm. But be careful. Right, okay.
So because you're using something from a team member, and she has explained it very well, when you roll on this shoes roll, you can have advantage for sure, because you have help. Explode an 8.
I got a 3.
That is a success. So you grab onto it. You set it to the proper thing. You dive back down, and you start to feel like, okay, I don't know how much I have left from this bracer. So you set it into the crevice right next to where that thing is stuck. And then you come shooting back up, and just as you clear, sort of tumble back onto the plateau. You're kind of steaming a little bit, like it's a very weird sensation for you. There's like a deep rumble in the mountain. You feel this shake, and everybody sort of freezes, and the lava monster kind of freezes and looks around, and then this little thing, this little, like, almost like a pouch, kind of bobs to the top of the lava.
Where's Shark Week? Is she up to here too?
Yep, she came up. She's
Okay.
she's on the plateau with you.
Okay. All right. Well then, yeah, grabbing the pouch.
As you untie the pouch, it feels like you're surprised it survived inside the lava, because the pouch feels like
Fireproof
cloth.
pouch.
Never know. And you kind of undo it, and you open it up, and inside are like stuff that kind of doesn't make sense to you. There's like a child's stuffed toy, and there's a seashell, and there's some buttons, like just little trinkets.
I'm gonna pour it out onto the plateau and just kind of like spread it out so that it's visible.
The lava creature sort of gets interested in what you're doing, and leans over, getting closer, so it starts to get a little warm again by you. Whoever's looking at it, could you give me a book roll?
Yep.
I'm interested too.
1 and 5.
Thanks.
one
That
success.
was a 3.
1, 2, 3.
I got
That
a
is
9.
success.
That is a fail.
I got a 2.
Okay, take a lesson. Sportsball is perhaps distracted, making sure that the dryads are coming back into themselves more. So she doesn't really want to look at what she sees as like, this might just be junk. I don't know what this is. I do know that maybe these other beings need assistance. So you are in your delightful way, you are sharing or attempting to share your like sports drinks. Like, I have Gatorade and I have this, and you're sort of plying them with that. So you don't see what's going on. But the people who are looking, and Trash Animal, you're sort of getting this through litter instead of through your own knowledge. But
Well, litter
you're all
knows
noticing
stuff.
that litter is good at junk, for sure. You're all noticing that each of these things are made out of like different elements. There's something like the seashell. It's definitely water, and there's kind of actual water inside this seashell. There's stuff carved out of wood. There are things stuffed with, like a wool and other fibers from animals. There's something that keeps wanting to float up, like it's too light to be held down.
Yo, did we just find
there's
the
some
avatar?
glass. Could be. But yeah, there's all of your elements, all your nations, if you will, are represented in this little pouch.
Wow. Do any of these look like yours?
You look up and you see her face start doing that shifting again, as if she's like going through her mental Rolodex, right? She's trying to find and she reaches over and starts picking them up, and her features start settling. She starts becoming more defined, and it's not a face that you recognize anymore. You think this might be her actual face, and it sort of becomes sharper and closer to like a person's face. And these things are going back into her. They're like, she's absorbing them. And as she does, she's shifting through the different, so she's not just lava. She's got things swirling, other elements kind of swirling from her. And she kind of like sighs in relief. All right, one more book roll from everybody, because you all can't look away from this now. You're all looking for sure.
That was a 4.
3.
Okay.
Another
One
9.
success.
4
Okay.
and 5.
So Shark Week, because you were already fairly enamored with this creature, you have been watching very closely. And this reminds you the form that she is taking. She's sort of still very imposing and large, but she seems a little bit friendlier. And this reminds you of how they would illustrate Awesome World if Awesome World was a person. You know, you have those little like books when you're a kid that are like, this is Mother Earth and she does this. Well, they'd have that as an Awesome World. So that this looks to you like the illustrations that you saw of Awesome World personified. And she takes a big deep breath, and she reaches out toward Willow, and some energy comes out of her hand, and Willow seems revived. And then she does the same thing to the partner, and he seems revived. And then she just sort of sinks back down into the mountain. And the top of this mountain begins to shift, and it's no longer a volcano. It's just a mountain. It still has that plateau on top. She was aware of where you were. She made sure you were safe. But she has sunk back into it. So it's a little overwhelming for everyone involved, but you realize that you have just given Awesome World back their spirit.
Save the world.
You sort of feel
Wow.
it sort of run through the ground. Everything feels a lot more stable. And that's the end of the adventure. You guys did it.
Yay.
Wow.
High fives all around.
You guys didn't even
Oh
have
my
to get the band together on this one.
No.
No.
Did it on
It's amazing.
yeah, it was
Sorry.
yeah, you guys no. It's great. I loved how creative you guys all were. I think that's great. And I also love that every time you had to reach into lava, somehow you succeeded. And I was like, well, they'll probably not. Okay, just go swimming in the lava. That's fine, I guess.
I was holding on to a pun the entire time.
Let's hear it. Give it.
Oh,
gotta
like
give it
if
to
it was
us.
like if there was like a point where it's like, you know, we kind of needed to like help the lava thing, like just kind of reach a point of self-acceptance, or you know, where they're finding themselves was like it was within them all along, or like, you know, like the thing of like, oh, it's okay, we love you.
We love you. You do. I mean, Shark Week did for sure.
Yeah, Shark Week definitely did a lava.
Do you still have hard eyes now for Awesome World personified Shark Week?
I mean, they
Or
went
has she
away
lost
with
some
it.
allure now that she's not?
I mean, the hard eyes are gone because that was like an in the moment thing, but I think she's probably still enamored.
I see.
Yeah.
Love
Fun
it.
fact.
Yeah, so I'm sorry that it was a little bit shorter today, but you
Mm.
guys made it all the way in there and made some really cool choices. So I'd love to do our moments of gratitude. Today was like so introspective about how people feel about themselves, really, and so I would love to hear some moments of gratitude and check in with you to see how you're feeling after that. Let's start with Adriel. How are we doing? What's up?
Great. I'm just really grateful for Shark Week, just not thinking and diving into that lava to try and solve the problem, and that was great. And fun fact, this is a true story. When I was a small child, a man at a Ren fair tried to buy my soul from my mother. She said no.
Wait a second.
Shout out to Mom for not selling the soul. It's a perfect Mother's Day story to share today.
It's really good.
Like, the guy was even like, I mean, you'd still have your child. They'd still like be able to like do chores and be a human. They just wouldn't, their eyes wouldn't be as shiny.
That man was Faye. Good job, Mom.
Yep.
Do not give the Fae your soul.
Yep. I like how the Fae's like, it's like child slave labor is like the top of the mom priority list, obviously.
Yeah, right.
Fine. Still clean their room.
Exactly.
As a person with 2 children myself, I would argue that they don't clean their room, regardless of whether they have their soul or not. So I don't think that was a good argument that they made.
Maybe he would argue that it's their soul that's like, it's the fire in their soul that keeps them from wanting to do it. Like, maybe they'll be a bit more...
Keeps them from cleaning their room?
Yeah.
He really needs to hone in on his pitch then. He's having a hard time. It's not working.
Yeah. Oh my god, for real though, that's so wow.
It's terrifying. Well, we're glad you still have your soul. You're still with us.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm grateful for that as well.
Yeah. All right, let's scoot around the table. Whitney, I'm gonna throw it to you. How are you feeling, and what's your moment of gratitude?
I'm feeling good. Fun fact: I signed my soul away to my RA at art school, and I think I don't remember if she gave it back or not.
You should definitely email her. Let her know that you need it back.
Yeah.
Look, I feel like just like books, you should never lend your soul.
Yeah.
Well, I was signing like that I'm going to behave, et cetera, and they're like, "Thank you for your soul." And I'm like, "I'm an art student. I
didn't see that in the fine print."
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Whips.
And I loved how Trash Panda was like, "I'm gonna pop her on the nose, put him up." She got all fisticuffs.
It felt a little Three Stooges, and I really loved it. It was good stuff. How about you, Omari? How are we doing?
Really good. I think that moment, same with Trash Princess, and then like Explosive Princess, kind of like stepping up too. I was inspired just by their courage and what was a very scary moment. And I think also, Whitney, when you were describing Shark Week, sort of like realizing that maybe the thing the volcano lost was like here somewhere. I was thinking the same thing at the same time, and when you said it, I was like, "Oh my god, we're all on the same page! It's so cool!" Yeah. So that was just awesome. I know.
You share one brain as a team.
We share at least like 3 brain cells between us, and it's like, okay, it's my time now with the brain cell thing.
Here we go.
I will say the plan that we are all thinking right now. I've got it. Excellent. What about you, Fall? How are you doing?
Yeah, good. A little tired, but I mean, I got my coffee, so it's all good.
Perfect.
But yeah, no, I loved it. I'm like a little low-key sad that it's over now, because I'm like, oh no, like I love this team and it was so much fun to play with y'all, and I don't know, it's like, oh, like I don't know. I'm a little sad that it's over.
We can always get the band back together at some point.
Yes.
I hopefully am not gonna stop doing this show. So if everybody is interested in coming back, we can set up a time for you all to come back. I don't know that you'll be princesses. Maybe we'll do a different system, but
Oh, I
it'll be
love
the
it.
same folk. We'll see how that translates.
Ooh.
Let's do it, please. No, I love this group, and it's it's so cool because obviously I'm in a completely different side of the world, and it's just really cool that I get to hang out with these really awesome people and play a really awesome game. So probably for me it's literally everything. We had some really cool character moments. We had Trash Panda just raring for a fight, just like letting that passion like take over. We had Shark Week, basically just like yeeting themselves into lava, just like no holding back for that. We had Sportsball like cracking open a really thick snow globe with some golf balls, like awesome swing, hole in one. And then also we've had a really awesome DM who's created this entire like world for us, and it was just so much fun to be able to like do things not just like through violence, which usually is kind of like the normal way that tabletop RPGs kind of go. It's like just like how hard can I hit this problem, but it was really fun to kind of like, okay, like that's probably not the best way to deal with this problem right now. And it was just a really awesome game, and I just loved how wholesome it was. And yeah, no, I've had a great time, and yeah, if anything, I'm just sad it's over.
I love that every time I play the Excellence with a new group of people, I mean, you absolutely could have initiated combat with that giant lava monster. I had contingencies for that. You could have done it. But I have found that being in this environment and playing this game, that it makes every new group of people that I play it with go, right, but how can we fix this person's problem? Even the big bad person, they go, I don't know, maybe there's something wrong that we can help, instead of I'm gonna blow it up. You guys had all of the things with you. You had gotten Willow back. You had even freed this other creature that you didn't even know. You freed them. They were there. You have literal skirts full of explosives. Y'all could have just blown up the mountain. Like, you could have just, I'm gonna back up and blow you to bits. You could have done it. And you all went, okay, but tell me what's wrong. Let me help you. And I think that's such a cool thing, because it happens every time I play this game. They always want to save the big bad. Nobody fights them. And I think it's the coolest, and it's super fun as a DM to get to be in a situation where it's kind of like every campaign is a redemption arc for every creature that you come across. Everybody figures out what they want, and you help them get it. And I think that's like a really lovely lesson to sort of take. And it's like you were saying, it's a very wholesome thing. It's very on brand for joyful gaming, and I really like it. So I'm thankful that you guys came along with me on this weird little journey. For a tiny epilogue, Willow is absolutely full strength. In fact, maybe even a little bit more than full strength, because of that extra spirit that Awesome World Personified put into her. She was so grateful that you all came to help her, that she cooked you all a dinner. It wasn't great. She's not a good cook. She's a tree. But it's how she can express herself. She wasn't really feeling fire, so there wasn't anything that was hot, but you guys had a lovely salad, and you got to kind of hang out, and there was very minimal dirt in it.
Plant-based food?
She does, yeah.
It's complicated.
Not all of them are people. Not all plants are people.
That's fair. No, I love it.
And you have found her several times since, just sort of hanging out in the backyard, soaking up the sun, just kind of letting herself stay out a little bit extra. Also, you can't keep litter off of her. Litter is constantly climbing her. And sort of like has become her hat. Just sits on her head.
So cute.
I really love litter. Litter's my friend. Yeah, so it's been delightful, and because we were able to make our way through with such really interesting choices, we are not going to go the full 3 hours, obviously. I would love to go around the table and have you all tell the folk watching at home where we can find you on the interwebs and plug any projects or anything that you have coming up. Let's start with Omari.
Hi again. You can find me
Hi again.
in almost all of the interweb things under Akilverse. I am mostly these days on Twitter and Twitch, so I'll just plug my game design streams. Those have been some of the most fun things that I've done recently. So I do probably the most fun one is game design jams, where I just like take a game as inspiration and I create a game in 90 minutes based on some other game. And I've been doing those.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to do them like couple times a month. But yeah, that's over on Twitch. So come check me out there.
I'm going to put you on the spot, and I'm sorry, but also not sorry. Because it is Mother's Day, I'm going to ask who your favorite fictional mother is.
Oh, ooh, that's interesting. Just because I got to see it sort of recently, oh my goodness, I can't remember the name, but in 101 Dalmatians, the mom dog was just like so sweet and
Perdita?
cared so much. Yeah, Perdita, oh my God. And just cared so much for her babies. And I don't know, that was just really sweet. I watched that not too long ago.
And also willingly took in like 90
So many
more
other
children.
Dogs. Yes.
Without
that counts for something.
Just yes, come on in.
Yes, all of these are mine.
Yeah,
now.
cool. Whitney, what about you? Where can we find you on the interwebs?
You can find me at Twitter at WhittleDragon. You can also find me on my website, littlewishproductions.com. I'm currently working on a second print run of my diceless aquatic role-playing game Prism, which Adriel has played before. And I'm also promoting a game that will be hopefully crowdfunding in July called The Tears of a Machine, second class, the second edition, by @RobotClaw on Twitter. It's a super awesome game where you are teenagers piloting alien robots fighting the aliens that made said robots.
That's so cool.
Cool. I can't wait to play both of those. That sounds rad. And your favorite fictional mom?
I would normally need more time to think about that, but the first mom that came to my head when you asked that question was the mother wolf in Princess Mononoke.
Yeah.
Because she's a total badass, and she was willing to accept a human, her quote unquote ugly, beautiful daughter.
Yeah. I love it. I love that both of them so far have been, I'll be a mother to whoever who needs it. Both of the ones that we've brought up so far. I think that's very cool. Fall, where can we find you on the web?
Hi, so you can you can find me at Fall Cosplay on Instagram, Fall Cosplay 1 on Twitter, and also Fall Cosplay here on Twitch as well. I'll actually be streaming right after this show as well. I mean, not directly after, but like in an hour or so, where we'll be going through the last couple of episodes of One for All before the new season gets released this week. In actually just like 2 days. So it's very exciting. So yeah, so that's what's happening with me. Also following Dear Stalker Pictures on Instagram and Dear Stalker Pics on Twitter as well to get updates about when One for All is launching and when new episodes will be coming out and all that fun sort of stuff. Yeah.
Cool. And who is your favorite fictional mom?
Yeah, as soon as I heard you asking that question, like I was racking my brain and I'm literally drawing a huge blank.
Fair.
And I feel like in a way, and this is going to sound so sappy, it's kind of because I think I have just such a good relationship with my own mother that it's like no there's no fiction that could kind of supersede that. So I mean,
Very sweet.
yeah, I mean, like we've been through so much together. It's, you know, like it was just us for a while, and like, you know, we've got a you know, a family now with my siblings and my stepdad. But I think it was one of those things where it's like we became like, she's my mentor, she's my confidant, she's my friend, and we get to kind of grow together in that sort of way. So yeah, it's yeah, I guess like, yeah, it's just my mom. This is my favorite.
That's really sweet. Hi, Falls Mom.
But yeah, sorry, I wish I had a fictional mom in mind, but I can't think of any.
That's okay. No, I definitely threw it at you without preempting anything. So thank you for all rolling with the punches here, because I was just like, oh, this will be a great thing to talk about. Ha ha. Adriel, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at ReindeerB. You can find me on Instagram at TheReindeerB. And you can also find me on all of the places that Ninth Level is. So at Ninth Level Games on Twitter, and we have a website, ninthlevel.com, with the number 9 not spelled out. And currently I am working on editing level 1, which is the free RPG Day anthology that everyone will be able to get physically if your friendly local game store is participating, or digitally. And so yeah, working on that, and we are prepping to kickstart the new edition of Mazes, which will be one book with everything in it. And so that's pretty exciting, and you'll be able to learn more about that on the interwebs. And Yay. As far as favorite fictional mothers go, I'm gonna say both Xena and Gabrielle. They were mothers in the show. I'm rewatching it right now. It's Mother's Day, and I couldn't think of like a more momly mom. Like neither of them raised their children. And in fact, Gabrielle still hers. It was the long story. Anyway, that's my choice for today.
My name is Sarah Moore. You can find me on Facebook at Actor Sarah Moore. You can find me at on Instagram and Twitter at Pixies and Pins. I literally just set up Ko-fi. I don't know how you say it. Ko-fi? Is that how you say it? Who knows? K-O-F-I. I just set it up.
Yeah.
There's nothing on it yet, but I literally set it up this morning because I was like, I feel like I probably have rambly things to say. So I will make sure that you guys all have that link eventually when I start putting things on there if you're interested in checking that out. It should be fun too. So I was thinking about the fictional mother thing as well as soon as I asked that question, and I think there's a lot of them, but and I understand that Harry Potter is problematic because of its creator. However, I do feel like I identify a lot with Molly Weasley as a mother because she opens her house to anybody who needs it. As soon as she finds out that somebody is going without, she does her best to make sure that they also have something and that they feel loved. And I feel like that's a really important quality that I hold dear as a mother myself. And she is also incredibly powerful, but did not have to flaunt it, which is a thing that I hope I can identify with in my life. So I understand that there's a lot of problems with that, but that piece of fiction, I'm trying very hard to separate from its creator because it is.
I think that's
pretty
really important to separate like a text from like death of the author. It's the fact that we can always kind of go, okay, but like did the net good of the text outweigh like it does, and I feel like in a way it does. It gives a lot of people who do struggle to find their place in the world like a place to feel like they're safe, and it's unfortunate that its creator has taken such an awful turn, but at the same time, like J.K. Rowling, like Harry Potter, we all own Harry Potter now. Like Harry Potter lives in our minds rent free. J.K. Rowling doesn't.
Yeah.
So
right.
Yeah. So at the same time, it's like, yeah, like I understand, but you don't have to apologize for still loving something, especially if it gave you so much joy and happiness.
Yeah. It's an excellent point, Fall, and I feel like a lesson that we have been sort of talking about on Sarah's Table kind of all the time. So thank you for reiterating it in such an eloquent manner. I love doing this, and I love that we will be back next week because next week there's gonna be puppets again. I don't know what we're playing. Do I? Who knows? We're gonna play a game.
Yep.
I'm gonna not be a puppet, and then there are going to be other people who are puppets, and we're going to play something, and there's going to be shenanigans and laughter and chaos, and I hope that you all join me for that. Right here on Sarah's Table next Sunday at 4:30 Eastern. In case you're watching this later on YouTube or something, it's www.twitch.tv/levelup_TTV. Don't forget the underscore. If you don't put it in, you will not find us. Nobody likes that, so make sure you add it. Underscores for life. Maybe we'll make a sticker that says that.
Yep.
Thank you all for joining in this total team adventure. It has been a delight, and I'm so glad that you watched us get from a very uncomfortable kidnapping situation where we tree-napped a beautiful dryad to helping the world find itself again. I am grateful for everyone. So until next time, keep making art and keep being art. We will see you next time.